it's time for the Hometown Movie Guys. Yay! And the crowd goes wild.
Those of you that can't see Randy Roberson this morning, he is a good-looking guy.
Dapper
I
Don.
expect him to be asking me to lend him $10 here in just a minute. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know, they say that the eyesight is usually the first thing to go. So anyway, we're talking this morning with the Hometown Movie Guys about, well, movies in your hometown. And with us, Tina, Craig, and Andy, and Craig from the Sawmill Theaters. We were just talking a little bit before the show today, and you've got a pretty interesting lineup of movies coming for the holidays here.
Coming up, yes, yeah. We actually nothing new today, but then going into the holidays, we'll have a whole new lineup.
Oh yeah.
So we got actually, Andy will like this one. Monster Hunter comes out next Friday. That one is starring Mia Jovovich.
Really?
Mila
Yeah.
Jovovich. Oh my God, so he's melting.
Yeah, see, told you.
I think she's the catchiest.
Oh, she is. She owns the screen.
And where does the monster part come in?
Oh, there's monsters.
Oh, okay.
It's actually it's based on a video game.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that definitely has a crowd. But this is a new release also. And then going into Christmas is
Sounds like video games are getting a lot better. I mean, I gave up after Pong, so.
they've come a long ways.
Yeah.
But no, Christmas Day then is Promising Young Woman.
What's that about?
It's
about a promising young woman.
Yeah. Revenge. It's Carrie Mulligan, I think her name is.
Oh,
that stars
count
in.
me in, man. Revenge is good.
Yeah. It's basically she's kind of moving up the corporate ladder. These various people kind of screwed her over, and she comes back for revenge on all of them. Then
Paybacks.
it's good. News of the World. Tom Hanks.
Right.
Oh,
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks Western. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And then of course Wonder Woman. Finally.
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Moved back.
Yay.
You changed that date 4 times, but that's locked in now. So that's Christmas Day also.
And that comes out on Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day, yeah.
So start planning to give Christmas theater tickets at Christmas. And oh, by the way, I'm lisping a little bit because I got permanent teeth installed last Saturday.
Oh, well, congratulations.
And I'm going to Sholo today to have them adjusted because I don't want the lisp.
Well, thanks.
I don't want to be able to say Thorith.
Suffer in succotash. Anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
But buy movie tickets for Christmas.
Yeah.
Seriously, what a great gift. You don't have to wrap them. I mean, buy like bales of them.
Well, and you know, as we were
Like
mentioning last week, we need to, you know,
Bales.
with all of your Christmas shopping, you know, try and as much as you can do it locally, and that way it'll get recycled in our local economy. You go to the big box stores, it just goes away, and that's it.
Yeah. And buy movie tickets and tickets to the concession. I mean, the full enchilada.
Right.
Yes.
And or popcorn.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
gift certificates. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
$5
Yeah.
gift certificates that can be used for tickets or for popcorn or drinks or anything.
Oh, very cool.
They work just like a $5 bill.
Stuff the stockings and put them under the tree. It's
There you go.
perfect.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So,
And I am a week ahead of you. I've bought a bunch of movie tickets last week to give away as presents to some people I know. And,
Yay.
I think it's a great idea.
and of course, at the Sawmill Theaters, they're practicing social distancing with the, you know, various rows roped off and stuff like that, so you can do this safely, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, we're still 50% capacity there, and every other road blocked off. So.
And the crowd's starting to come back now.
You know, it's steady.
Yeah, good.
You know, it's all about, you know, it's about product.
Sure.
You know, that's what we've found out. And
Everything's kind
that's
of
why I say-
stalled out there for a while.
Oh yeah.
That's a nice way to say it. I know there's probably another way.
Yeah. Yeah, that is nice. But yeah, like I said, we do have Christmas coming up here, and it is. We will actually have 6 screens of all new film. No this older stuff that we've had to.
Wow.
We kind of had to fall back on to just fill in space. So, yeah, so
Very
not
cool.
too bad. We're looking forward to it.
All right. And
When's the next Faith movie?
Well, the 21st, and that is Overcomer.
winter solstice.
Yeah,
That is
Overcomer.
Overcomer. Wow.
Yes.
And been wanting to tell you about this too. At my church, they're having a going to see Overcomer as a church body, and then they're going back to the church. have some eats, and then they're having a program where they'll be discussing the religious and theological aspects of the
And what
movie.
church
Oh,
is
wow.
that, Andy, since I go there too?
It's the Rim Country Community Church
Rim View.
Rimview, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Rimview
yeah.
Community
In
Church.
Star Valley.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yes.
beautiful, Star Valley.
Beautiful Star Valley.
Downtown Star Valley.
Yes. In fact, way back in the day, remember Chuck, who was Heron, who was our first mayor?
Right.
He was so funny. He said, we have a civic center. It's Pete's Place and the church. It's perfect.
I think Pete's Place had a slightly different motif back then, perhaps.
Well, no, it was still,
No.
Oh, wait, really?
No, it had metamorphosed into the dicey place it is now.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, but Rimview Community Church, great church.
They play dice
We go, Andy and I go at different
Things
times,
rolling.
so we don't have to see each other. But he goes at 8, I go at 10:45.
Yeah, we keep it, we got both performances covered.
We do.
there you go. That's all good.
Yeah.
Well, now, we're going to be talking this morning, and we hope that you'll join us on Facebook Live, because we're coming to you live there for a full hour, where we're only here for a half hour on the radio with you today. But we want you to start thinking now about,
We should actually see about getting us for a full hour on the radio.
Yes.
well, you'd have to talk to management. You know how they are, management.
What?
Well, so the
I thought you were the big cheese.
You had some decision-making
I'm just
ability
cheesy.
here.
I'm not the big cheese.
Oh.
But the bottom line is, we want you to start thinking now about your favorite comedy of all time, or a comedy or two or five. And well, I mean, that just goes so many different directions over the years. It'll be interesting to see what people have to say about that. So be thinking about that. But in the meantime, I want to find out too from Craig exactly what's on the playlist this week. Or like, if people are heading down to the Sawmill Theaters tonight, what all do you have planned on the
Yeah,
screens?
we got a few that are, and this will be your last week to see these, so if you want to catch them. Let It Go, Kevin Costner, Diane Lane. It's kind of a
That's a comedy, isn't it?
No.
rated R. Yeah, that one's a little bit rough, but yeah, great cast on that one.
What'd you say, kind of a crime movie?
And drama,
Yeah.
suspense thriller.
Right.
Suspense thriller.
Suspense thriller? Okay.
Well, so now if you're
Thriller.
taking your girlfriend out to a date, this will be a good one where all of a sudden she'll jump and want to hang on to you real
Yeah,
quick.
no, you want Freaky for that.
Freaky.
Oh, yeah, Freaky is cool.
Freaky's playing
Yeah.
also.
Freaky.
Right.
That's Vince Vaughn.
Oh,
It's great.
Kind of a comedy horror.
Okay.
So yeah, a little bit of that, but that one is rated R also, so a little bit of violence in there.
Freaky was, I really enjoyed Freaky.
Yeah, me
And
too.
I'm not much for, slasher movies and stuff, but this was funny and clever and very well done, and Vince Vaughn was just tremendous.
He is.
And brought to you by the same people, by the way, who made Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day 2.
There you go. And of course, we all know them.
No, Happy Death Day was in the same vein, kind of a, I won't say a spoof because it's serious, but it's a kind of a lighter look at slasher flicks.
A lighter
A
look.
lighter look at slasher films. I like the sound of that. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I like the sound of it.
Oh, you heard it on this show.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what else?
War with Grandpa.
Oh, that's
Oh,
De Niro.
De Niro. That's a PG.
Right.
Good family film. Good for family, kids, everything. That one's still going. And then of course the big one, The Cruise.
That's still
Cruise, a
going.
new age. Oh yeah. No, that was a big one for Thanksgiving. Great one for the kids. It's an animated film.
Okay, and that rounds out the slate.
Half Brothers.
Half Brothers.
Half Brothers. Yes.
Who's in that? Actors.
Yeah, a couple people.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, Half Brothers is, I don't want to say it's a Mexican production, but almost everybody involved with the project are, the actors, director, writers, everybody are from Latin America. So it's an interesting perspective, but it takes place mostly in the United States. It's a kind of an odd sort of a film. A fella in Mexico who's a he's a businessman involved in the aviation industry. He's been estranged from his father for many, many, many years. His father lives in Chicago, and he gets a call from his American wife that his dad is dying, and he makes the trip, goes to Chicago to see his dying father. He finds out that he's got a screwball brother that he didn't know about, and the father tasks them with a series of adventures, and the two brothers have to kind of retrace his father's steps. I don't understand what the father's purpose was, but he made him do it. And
Dads are like that.
yeah, so the two boys get to know one another, even though they're utterly different in every respect.
Right. Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
All right, now, so
That rounds it out.
now before we get to favorite comedies,
What about Hillbilly Elegy?
That's gone.
It's gone? Oh.
how did that do?
No, it's terrible. Surprisingly enough, it seemed like a serious drama, which usually do pretty good in pacing, and just really nothing there.
Wow.
I was really kind of surprised at how bad it did do. Now that was it's one of these Netflix movies too.
Yeah,
So
it's already on Netflix.
Yeah. A lot of these were getting. Netflix is doing kind of limited releases on some of this stuff, and the theaters get them for maybe 2 weeks.
Right.
And then they go back onto Netflix. So I don't think that's really helping the whole situation too much. A lot of people have Netflix, but that's just kind of part of the world we're in now with things are moving a little more towards streaming.
Right. There's nothing though like going to the theater. I mean, I've got a huge, flat screen TV. I've got a nice sound system, and I enjoy watching it. But it doesn't compare to going to the theater.
Well, that's, like I said, we talked about it many times. Some movies are made for the big screen, and it's actually, I mean, if you're following the news at all on movie theaters and the movie stuff, this is really kind of an interesting time. There's a lot going on as they're kind of, with COVID and all these shutdowns and everything. The studios, in my opinion, are kind of taking advantage of that, and they're pushing towards this streaming service thing and moving movies that way. And what they're doing is normally the theaters push back against that. Not so much sawmill theater. They don't really care about our opinion, but AMC and Regal and Cinemark, they can exert a little bit of push there, and threaten not to play movies or something and get some things done. But with all their theaters closed down now, or so many theaters closed, we just don't have any leverage here against the studios. So, like I said, kind of an interesting time, and that's some of what we're seeing with Netflix is, they're putting these out in theaters for a limited time, and normally it was a 90-day window.
Right.
Movies would come out in the theaters, and 90 days later, then they could start going to streaming and DVD and everything like that.
Now it's like, 90 minutes later?
Yeah. Well, pretty much, and in some instances, and
It's simultaneous.
well,
Yeah.
Warner Brothers just did that for 2021. They took all their stuff and they're putting it directly onto HBO Max.
Right.
And again, they're trying to push their streaming services, and if it wasn't for the lockdowns and everything right now, the theaters would have some leverage and would push back on that, but we just can't do anything now.
Wow.
But the vaccine is on its way, and the leverage from the theaters will be back in just a couple months.
We're looking at springtime. Yeah, I think by spring we should be.
On a side note, how's this been as far as employees and things like that for your business when it comes to COVID? Because it seems like every business around town seems to have been affected at some level.
Oh yeah, no, we're about down 60% on our staff.
Wow.
Yeah, we were. Normally we keep about 15 people. Now we're down to 6.
Wow.
So yeah, no, it's been. Of course we're closed. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday now.
Right.
And kind of concentrating things and just mitigating loss. Really,
Right.
is a lot of what we're doing. It's been a.
We're all forced to do what we gotta do.
I'll be glad when this year is over.
Yeah.
It's just been a.
I'm not even gonna ever use the term, 2020 vision again. I've completely given up on 2020. Here's hoping we only got a couple more weeks. Here's hoping the next year will be a little bit more fruitful for all of us. Well, now,
We haven't said anything about this month's classic.
the classic
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Classic movie Saturday, which happens on,
What is it? I don't even know.
We already missed it.
Oh,
should have been there.
Yeah, no, we'll go for January.
Is that the
it'll
first
be
or second Saturday of the month?
The third. We're into the third Saturday right now, which will be the Overcomer movie.
right.
So that one, but no, we'll do. We're gonna do Out of Africa. That'll be January 3rd. Oh wait, when is New Year's Eve? Is that on a Friday night?
Yeah, New Year's Eve will be a Thursday night.
Oh, Thursday night. Okay, so it'll be January 2nd. We'll do Out of Africa.
Cool.
Get that going again too.
Robert Redford and Meryl Streep and a big box of Kleenex. Because, man, that's a weeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a movie. This is going to shock you, but I have not seen that one.
You know what? That is such a big screen movie. You've got to see it in the big
Yeah,
screen.
that is a big screen
Oh,
movie.
the vistas that they
Africa
filmed.
is an
Seriously,
amazing place.
amazing, just amazing. And a true story. Who was it? Isaac Dennison? Yeah. She wrote the book, and then
A Danish lady in
Yes.
Kenya.
yes, and she inherited, I think, a coffee plantation in Kenya, however you say it,
Right.
and her struggles to run it, and a love interest with Robert Redford. I mean,
And this is roughly the time of the First World War. right?
yeah. But there are some scenes in there, not just between her and Robert Redford, but between her and some of the people who worked for her that were so loyal and so bonded to her. And it's just a beautiful movie.
Well, and the African continent itself is a pretty amazing place.
Yeah.
I've had a
And
chance
the
to visit a
music
few
in that
places
is
there.
great. I can't remember who did the music, but it's maybe John Williams. I don't know.
Yeah. And there's some shots of them flying around in a biplane
Oh,
that are just absolutely
Yeah.
gorgeous, eye candy.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
flying around in a
Yeah.
biplane in Africa. And,
Yeah.
just wonderful visions.
Yeah, that's a good segue into comedies. You guys see?
wait! I was crying, and you're
yeah,
now
well,
making fun
That's
of me.
why he's laughing.
Talking about flying around in a plane over Africa, the gods must be crazy.
Oh, what a great movie!
Oh,
Yeah.
When
Yay.
the guy's flying over there, he throws a Coke bottle out the window of
Yeah.
his plane, and
Yeah.
this little tribe of indigenous people over there that live in just a little family unit in a hut. They find that bottle, and
It came from the sky.
yeah, and the bottle becomes a
totem.
it's
Yeah.
unique.
Like a
So then
religious symbol,
everybody
right.
wants to use it because they can use
Yeah.
it for it's so useful. It's hard
Spells,
glass, and
yeah.
so then they start fighting over it, and so then they decide this bottle is evil, and they got to try to get rid of it. And
It's a really good movie.
it's a great movie.
And
It
again,
is. It's really
and
funny.
big screen stuff. Really,
Right.
really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a sequel, The Gods Must Be Crazy Part 2.
Part two.
Ah,
right.
quite good.
Yeah.
Wow. Very.
And I can't remember why they did it, but people have seen winches on the front of Jeeps. Well, this guy in the movie has got a Jeep, and and I don't know, I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but he winches his Jeep up into a tree.
He put the winch on there. I think he was pulling out of the
Which is better
pulling
than
out of the
jeeping your
river,
winch into a tree.
pulling out of the river, and he gets preoccupied with something else and forgets.
Oh, yeah,
Just
yeah. It's
pulls it
really
up
good.
into the tree.
Yes. Now, mind you, this is a winch, not a winch.
Oh,
There would be a difference.
Okay.
Yes,
all right,
yes.
all right.
Just
I was going
remember
a whole
that.
different direction with that.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. When it comes to comedies, I really like that. I don't. It's more than just dry humor, but that British humor. I got to at least, and of course you know where I'm going. Got to at least mention Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That to me, there's just
And The Life of Brian.
yeah. I mean, there's some
Yeah.
just gut-bustingly funny stuff.
Right.
Well, which reads the meaning of life too. Meaning
Yes,
of Life was
yes,
another
yes,
one that
yes.
was.
Yeah. And in that vein, I'm sorry, Craig, I have to mention Netflix. I know this is almost like
Shame on you.
an obscene thing. However, there is a series on Netflix right now called The IT Crowd. And It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. It is so on PC. There's no moments of wincing because of PCism, and it is in the tradition of Monty Python, but it has its own unique character, and it is to die for, hysterical. So the IT crowd, it's got one actor, well, the actress is great. There's kind of a trio of people who work in the basement, and they are the IT people. And there's one guy who plays a character named Moss, and he reminds me of Tim Conway
Oh, wow.
with the Carol Burnett show, because remember, he used to be able to do stuff and everybody around him was cracking up.
Tim
and he
Conway was a
totally
comedic
maintained-
genius.
Yeah, well, this guy is also a genius. He is so good. But the whole show is good. Sorry about directing you to Netflix, but there I am. I'm.
The IT crowd.
Yeah, you got to
And it's a
see it.
series?
It is a series, and you will be so sad when it comes to end. We're going to watch it again. We're going to wait probably about 3 months and then watch it again. Because we were laughing so hard at some of it, we couldn't even get the lines. So, very good.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And we were commenting, I think last week about, just the fact that it's, really good to go to the movies and just see
Yeah.
something, a good gut-bustingly funny movie, just for diversion away from all of the serious stuff going on all around us.
Blazing Saddles.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we showed that for the classic movie. That was so
Right.
good.
I
Yeah.
haven't eaten beans since.
Right.
That fireside scene there is dangerous stuff.
Well, and the producers, made also by Mel Brooks.
Right.
But the original one, not the one with Steve Martin, but the one with Zero Mostel and Gene Wilder. Oh my gosh, so on PC. I mean, when you have a song, Springtime for Hitler, yeah. And Mel Brooks, remember, he's Jewish. He wrote all his own music
Right.
in all of his movies, and he wrote that song in addition to other fabulous, snarky songs.
Stuff.
Yeah, stuff.
All right, so if you're going to pick one comedy that's at the top of the list for you, I mean, if you were
You're
forced
looking
to.
at me? Look at him
I'm
first.
looking-
Let me
okay.
think.
I'll look at Craig.
All right, well, you gotta go classic.
Yeah.
Caddyshack.
Ooh, that's an interesting choice.
Animal House.
Animal House.
Oh,
I'm a zit.
yeah, John Belushi.
Stripes.
Oh,
there
yeah,
you go.
yeah, yeah.
Those-
Good choice.
How
Yeah.
about you, Andy? I'm not going to even ask her anymore. 'Cause
You asked me again.
She seems
Just ask him first.
averse.
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe for the classic movie sometime we might suggest Duck Soup.
That's at the top of my list.
Duck Soup.
Yes, the Marx Brothers.
That goes back a few years.
Oh my gosh, Groucho was, and Harpo.
Was that
There's a scene where
50s or
Harpo.
40s?
30s?
30s?
I think, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Where Harpo is in front of a mirror, except it's not a mirror, it's, I think, Chico is, anyway, he's.
Chico's on the other side.
Yeah, he's mirroring himself, but he keeps trying to trick his mirror image. It is the most transcendently brilliant piece of comedy. I mean, yeah, Duck Soup, yeah.
And the interesting thing, and we talked a little bit about that last week too, was just television shows. But it's, back then, no, you weren't using sex as a comedy point. Violence, drugs, things like that. There was no humor like that. I mean, and I think that the writers had to work a little harder, but at the same time, when you look back at those, they're still funny. And we were talking before about I Love Lucy show and how that's still, it's still funny to watch, even though it's, that goes back to, 50 years ago.
Well, and the Carol Burnett show.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, people, when they catch Carol Burnett, find there's stuff that is so funny that, I mean, you can't stop laughing. It's
Well,
so
there
good.
was something, you talked about Tim Conway and the fact that
Yeah.
people working around him couldn't help but cracking up because of it. I mean, the guy was just a comedic genius. But there isn't too many shows anymore that are recorded live, as a live stage show,
Right.
where, if you have some little, comedic riff that happens in the middle, you just have to work your way through it because
Right.
it's live, there's no editing.
Well, and Mel Brooks used, it's Harvey Korman, right?
Right.
Yeah, he used him in Blazing Saddles.
Right.
He was Hedley Lamar.
Wasn't that a Jonathan Winter?
Oh, Jonathan Winters.
Yeah.
And they show he'd go through it at the end of it, just through the audience, and have him just pick a topic and,
Yeah.
and he'd tell a joke about
And
it.
he'd riff on it, yeah.
He was another, I mean, my guess would be, and I certainly don't know, but my guess would be, he'd be a tough person to eat dinner with every night. 'Cause, I mean, or it might be really, festive, but I mean, that guy was he had all kinds of energy. I don't know if he was drinking 9 pots of coffee a day or what, but Jonathan Winters
Well, he was also institutionalized for a while because of depression.
wow,
So he was
overcompensation.
kind of, a little manic depressive. And Robin Williams was, grew up on Jonathan Winter. That's what inspired him.
Right.
And, Robin Williams also, he actually had Tourette's and was featured on the cover of Tourette's magazine back in the day in the 70s. I
Robin
believe.
Williams?
Yeah,
I didn't realize
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I mean, I just thought his, sudden, vulgar outbursts were just part of the script. No.
Yeah, no, he actually had Tourette's.
Wow.
Yeah.
And, it is interesting that some of the biggest comedians out there tend to have some of the most tumultuous lives, whether it was early in their life or whatever, but that's an interesting fact in the notes. So now did you pick a favorite?
I got another one. Yeah, and I mean, I'm fickle, the fickle finger of fate here, but I am, yes, very fickle. But just off the top of my head, just for the moment, The Boondock Saints.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, what a funny movie. And it has, yeah, see, he's laughing. And it has Billy Connolly, who is, one of the funniest guys ever with his Scottish accent. And and then Willem Dafoe plays this gay FBI agent who listens to opera while he's perusing the scene. He plugs himself in. Oh
Helps
my
him
word.
concentrate.
Yeah, huh?
Helps him
It
concentrate.
helps him concentrate. And it just, the whole movie is super violent and super funny.
Yeah, I think William Dafoe, I believe, was who, if I remember correctly, my wife and I went down to the Valley here last year to a kind of an eclectic little theater downtown Phoenix that serves drinks and stuff like that, and it's just a little hole in the wall place.
Mm-hmm.
But we went to go see this artsy movie on the life of Van Gogh.
Oh, right. And he played
And-
Willem Dafoe,
Yeah.
Van Gogh.
And
Yeah.
while I'm not really a super fan of artsy movies, I have to say that was really a very interesting movie. I think
Mhm.
a lot of us know a little bit about the life of Van Gogh and what prompts people to cut their ears off and stuff. But that movie just shed a lot of light on what an interesting soul he was.
Mhm.
So anyway, side note.
Yeah.
Now we got to get you back on radio here. We got to get you back to more of your favorite music. Have some tunes coming up from Judy Collins, Billy Joel, Crazy Elephant, and Bruce Springsteen and more. First, a quick look at Rim Country weather. And for those of you following along on Facebook Live, we're going to continue talking for the next 30 minutes, so join us there. More to come.
I watch the Boondock Saints periodically
Yeah?
on a regular basis. Yeah.
Now, was that a series?
Yeah.
That was just a movie?
Well, there was a second one, and you know what? The second one was equally good. They replaced Willem Dafoe with a woman FBI agent, and we were, that's not going to work. It was great. It was really good. But there are two of them.
Boy, there's nothing funnier than bloodshed and murder.
Oh, I'll tell you, violence and comedy, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of, there's been so many interesting either television shows or movies over the years, and when I'm thinking comedy, I'm usually thinking about a person, and someone that I don't remember us ever talking about, but then I don't remember Tuesday, is Red
Tuesday Weld?
Skelton. Yeah. Red Skelton, as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I idolized him. I just thought his, he had an interesting mix of really good humor, comedic mannerisms, but also a very real, side of him that he would show as well. And I don't know, I just, we haven't had too many comedians like Red Skelton over the years, and he's been gone a long time. And if you're a young'un, you don't have any idea who I'm talking about. It's just
But
some
you
Red
need
Skelton.
to go check him out on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, good stuff.
yeah.
The
And comedy is hard.
oh man,
Yeah, it's way harder than-
timing and the manners and the physical end of comedy and everything. It can be an interesting challenge.
Mhm.
That's why I'm in radio.
Yeah.
We have kind of a whole nother, type of comedy. You have the animated comedy.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I haven't looked at these, some,
Yeah.
like Finding Nemo, that was
Oh,
just,
yeah. That was good.
oh, yeah, I mean.
Toy Story.
Yeah,
all
oh,
these,
yeah.
These are all great comedies too.
Mhm.
And that's all, you can kind of imagine some of the issues that these voice actors have too, trying to match this stuff up and, with what the characters are doing, these animated characters are doing.
Mhm. Yeah, and
Yeah, hey,
you know,
hey, Sid, I got a job for you. You're gonna like this one. We're gonna have you be the voice of a talking fish.
Oh boy.
right. But think about also there are musicals from yesteryear, and also one of the most recent ones, my favorite, Enchanted, with Amy Adams, and it has animation in it that is very, very good and very funny, and the whole twist on the Cinderella story, it's really beautiful, but the music is great, the jokes are great, and then the older musicals with Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire, a lot of them had a lot of comedy in them.
Mm-hmm.
Just people making fun of each other in a lovely way.
There's a modern day take on Cinderella coming up, I
Oh,
think in February.
really?
New movie coming out.
Excellent.
You know what the name of that is?
Cinderella.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
But yeah, it's a live action,
Cool.
but in modern
Who's
days,
in that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just kind of, we're kind of getting to the point where I'm trying to plot out January and February for
Right.
what we're doing there, and that's another set of challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, and Oh Brother, Where Art Thou is a
Oh.
musical that is funny as heck.
there's some really funny stuff.
Yeah, in fact,
The good, the bad,
and that's
the Friday Morning Ugly.
not funny.
Yeah.
that movie's
Not
yeah.
a comedy at all.
Not a comedy and not a comedy. Yes.
Well, but that's what makes it funny.
Yeah.
Craig mentioned the animated ones, and let's not forget Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
That was so good.
That was good.
And that was one of the first to use animation interspersed with live action.
Yep.
Right.
And that was, come on, it's on the tip of my
Cool
tongue.
World. Cool World too. Was
Cool World,
That
yeah.
was Brad Pitt. Yeah.
Oh,
One of his
yeah.
early movies.
But who, was it Bob Hoskins?
Bob Hoskins,
That was in, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That was really good.
who was also brilliant in Mona Lisa, but that was not
That
funny.
was not a comedy, right? But the Coen brothers do
But
comedies.
there's just a great line in there where Jessica Rabbit is defending herself, and she says, "I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way."
It's so Mae West. I mean,
Yeah.
Mae West, was, I think, it was an homage to Mae West.
I like it though.
Yeah.
It works right.
And then the Coen brothers. I mean,
Hey, we're doing it again.
The Big Lebowski.
Right?
Oh my gosh, the dude. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always Big Lebowski always
we
comes
love
up.
the dude, yeah,
Yeah,
really.
I
And
know.
then Racing,
Those
Racing Arizona,
Right?
yeah. And then Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, we mentioned. That's a musical and a comedy, and has George Clooney. He's very funny.
And that was such a departure from anything else I'd ever seen him do.
Yeah,
And
and yet wonderful.
he did
Yeah.
and it wouldn't have been something I would have thought he could have pulled off, but,
Yeah, and
but I was wrong.
Holly Hunter and John Goodman were in that. And it was, remember, Homer's Odyssey. It was, they took that story, that mythological tale, and made it into that movie. It was brilliant. Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
Had the Cyclops and everything.
Yeah, I mean, and I forget that Tim, the actor's name escapes me, but we thought you turned into a toad. Remember that?
Don't let the green hue fool you.
Oh,
Wow, I'm as far as best comedies of all time, I'm torn. There's just so darn many.
Yeah, and it didn't have to be the best, it just once it made you laugh.
Yeah.
Uncle Buck, one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
The great John Candy.
Mhm. Yes.
And Macaulay.
Macaulay.
Oh, Colin.
Macaulay Culkin,
You're right,
uh,
right.
when he was at the peak of his career.
Yeah. And Fletch. I love
Oh, wow.
Fletch. I almost know that movie by heart. With Chevy Chase.
Sure.
Fletch is really good.
It's really
I
good.
forgot about
Yeah.
Fletch.
Put it on the Underhills bill.
And Chevy Chase, we got
Oh, yeah.
Christmas Vacation coming out.
Absolutely.
You know, it's
Yeah.
for the time of the year.
Yep, yep. That's,
I'm just looking through online of some, famous comedies, and they've chosen a bunch that I didn't. But there's one here that does make sense. Men in Black.
oh, yes.
I mean, that was
Yes.
a pretty darn entertaining movie that had some really funny stuff in it, but yet
The
enough other.
the FBI does not have a sense of humor as far as we know.
Yeah.
Right? Which, how true is that, even more?
Wow. I just when you start trying to think of the best movies, the folks at mentalfloss.com,
Yeah, that's.
where we always turn for the latest
Inspiration.
Yeah. Their number one goes back to 1926. The General.
Oh, with Buster Keaton.
Buster Keaton.
Heavens, that is amazing. He did.
Inspector
remember-
General, isn't it?
Oh, no, the General was
General?
Buster Keaton, Inspector General was Danny Kaye.
Okay,
Ah,
you're right.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I know that. Why do I know this? I have no idea.
Number two in their list from 1933,
Uh-huh.
Duck Soup.
There you go.
Yay.
See, we gotta bring
Yeah,
that back.
duck soup's always on the
The
list.
Marx Brothers. Yeah.
Number three, going back to 1934. I mean, they really went back through the
Good.
books here. It Happened One Night.
Oh, yes, with Cary Grant.
Cary Grant,
and,
And
what's her name?
a lady.
no, but she was famous.
No, that was Clark Gable, wasn't it? And
It was
Clark Gable and
right.
Claudette
Claudette
Colbert.
Colbert, right,
Okay,
right.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
I know that.
Number four from 1936, Modern Times.
Yes.
With
Charlie
Charlie
Chaplin. Yeah.
You really have watched a lot of movies. You're like a movie guy.
Yeah.
1938 is their number five pick, and that's Bringing Up Baby.
Yep.
Another
With
Cary Grant. Yeah.
right, and Catherine
All right,
Hepburn.
let's bring it back into this century.
Oh, stop.
How about Ryan Reynolds? Did
Oh.
Waiting and
Oh.
Van Wilder.
Yeah,
Oh,
Both
wow.
both
Yeah.
of those were.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waiting was just tremendously good, I thought.
If you ever
How
worked
long
in a
ago was that?
restaurant.
Not too long ago.
No, that was the last 10 years.
I gotta get that down. Yeah.
Check
I
that
gotta
out.
see
Definitely
that.
within the last 100 years. So.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
Number six in this list I'm looking at. Now we're slowly getting closer to today. This is from 1960, The Apartment,
Yes, Shirley MacLaine.
and Billy Wilder.
Right, yes.
Or
Well,
Billy
he
Wilder.
directed
He,
it,
he made.
and
Yeah,
it was Jack Lemmon.
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe?
Who-
Come on. That
That
was
would
so
work.
good. Yeah.
And from 1964, I don't agree with this one, but what the heck? What do I know? Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the
Are
Bomb.
you kidding? That is so funny.
Is it?
Yes.
I'll have to see it.
Our precious bodily fluids, Robert Ryan. He talks about, I mean, it's such a black comedy, and it ends in the destruction of the world
Right.
with Slim Pickens riding down on the bomb, going, yeah!
Speaking of
Yeah.
bombs,
And Peter Sellers plays 3 parts.
Pink Panther.
Oh.
Those.
Excellent.
Pink Panther
Yeah.
always, a
Yeah.
lot of those were really good.
Yeah. Really.
Especially the way they would always make jokes about his accent and everything. It was good. One of the choices on here, now we're finally up to 1970, and I'm still having a real hard time believing that this was 1970. I thought it was more recent than that. But MASH.
Oh my goodness.
Now that
yeah.
was a good.
The young
good
Donald
movie.
Sutherland, the young Elliot Gould. Oh yeah.
The
Yeah.
movie was a little.
Oh man, Robert Altman. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I thought it was
He
good.
was brilliant.
And then their next one was from '74. We've already mentioned Blazing Saddles. Gotta love that.
Right.
Number 10 from 1974, Young Frankenstein.
Or Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
Mel Brooks, right?
Then they had Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I can't believe that was 1975. Anyway,
Those guys were pretty funny.
yeah, they really were.
And they're very sharp too.
Yeah.
Very intellectual.
They were either Oxford or Cambridge. I mean, remember, that's where they met.
Oh, no, I did not know
Oh,
that.
yes, they were all college, wonks.
Chums.
Yes,
Well,
chums.
Here's another one from 1979 that we haven't mentioned yet that I got a good kick out of. And let me see if you can guess from the opening line. I was born a poor black child.
The
Oh,
jerk.
the jerk.
Jerk.
The Jerk,
Yes,
1979.
Steve Martin.
Steve
Somebody's shooting the cans.
Airplane from 1980.
Oh, Leslie
That was good.
Nielsen.
And please, don't call me Shirley. 1980 with
That
Dolly
was, I
Parton.
believe, was the screen debut of Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, really?
Yes, Kareem was on that.
That's right, yeah, he was co-piloting on that.
Yeah.
He slapped a
Passenger
to help her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Snap out of it.
In
Moonstruck.
Moonstruck, there you go.
And that line, snap out of it, where
Cher?
Cher
Cher.
slaps Nicolas Cage.
From 1980, Dolly Parton in 9 to 5.
Yep.
That
And
was
Lily Tomlin and
yeah.
Jane Fonda, right?
And then another one from 1982 that I have to say, strange, but it was funny, Tootsie.
Oh, yes, Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, and Jessica Lange was in that. The young, beautiful Jessica Lange.
Ah,
Yes.
let's see. Of course, 1984, Ghostbusters.
Who are you gonna call?
Yeah, like Monty Python and the Holy Grail before it, Ghostbusters is a strong contender for the most quotable movie ever made, packed with one-liners and strange whatever it is that still have us saying things like, "That's a big Twinkie," and dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Anyway, I won't go into the rest of those for good reason. Lost in America.
That was a great movie in many respects.
Right.
And one of the things that I really liked about it is how they had the Statue of Liberty became mobile.
Yes.
And kind of saved the day. The goddess of liberty comes
Yay.
and
We-
rescues New York City.
We do have that one coming up in 2021.
The original?
No, new Ghostbuster film.
That's right. I heard that they were
with,
doing a new one.
with the kids. It's the
kids of
yeah,
the old
yeah,
people.
Yeah, Bill Murray and yeah. That was actually supposed to come out over the summer, but
So Bill Murray and them all going to be in it as the parents of the kids now? Or?
you know what? I think there's a couple of cameos in there. Yeah.
Cool. Another one from 1985, Lost in America.
Yeah, good.
Albert Brooks comedy.
Right.
In 1987,
Lost in America.
Yeah. Wasn't Meryl Streep in that?
let's see here. Albert Brooks comedies
I
are
don't
very
remember it.
specific, very hyper-focused films that blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 it doesn't say.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember.
I remember it. I
either.
remember
From
it.
1987, number 18, The Princess Bride.
Oh, and Craig was kind enough to bring that as a classic movie. That was so good. Yeah.
God,
I don't
1987.
believe that means what you think it does.
You keep my father.
In 1987, number 19 is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh,
Yep.
Lord.
That was
That's
another good
hits everybody's
Just-
list, yeah.
just
We just did that one.
And their number 20 here is from 1988, and I have to say, I really like Eddie Murphy, and some of the movies he's been in I really thought were very funny, but this one didn't work for me, and that's Coming to America.
Oh, geez, I thought it was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Just,
So we,
yeah.
Yeah, I like
we got
it
another
too.
one of those coming too.
Really?
Coming to America.
Coming to
with the
America.
numeral 2. Yeah. That was supposed to come out for Christmas too, but
Another one.
Yeah, I think that's Eddie Murphy's best movie as far as I'm concerned.
Well, no, it's
Trading
the-
Places.
I think
Oh,
also
Trading Places.
Trading Places.
No, the
They're
one
also
with-
very good.
the
yeah.
one with Steve Martin. What is the one I love? He plays a
Bowfinger?
producer. Bowfinger. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah,
Yeah, he plays two parts,
yeah.
and
Bowfinger's a lot more subtle, though, I think.
yeah, but really funny.
But it is really
Eddie
funny.
Murphy playing two parts.
I like Beverly
Yeah.
Hills Cop. for
Oh,
that matter.
me too.
Those are good.
Yeah.
yeah.
How about from 1982? And I think this is one of these movies that you either really liked it or you really did not. Number 20.
Or haven't seen it.
Or haven't seen it yet. Number 21, Wayne's World.
I love Wayne's World.
I hated it.
Oh, I thought it was great.
Is this,
But I do quote from it all the time.
is this a top 20 or just 20?
This is
This is Randy.
now
going
we're up to
his
22.
phone.
Well, no, you gotta understand here. We've gone to mentalfloss.com. I mean, they are the quintessential
We
experts.
go by, or
No,
this is by,
there's
No,
some
we're the
great,
quintessential experts.
there's some great stuff in Wayne's World, and in particular when they're driving down the road what's the song?
Queen.
Queen, yeah.
Oh, Queen.
We will.
No,
No.
We're the champions?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, there
Oh,
you go.
Lord, yeah.
They're in the car, and they're those of you who haven't seen Wayne's World, it's about It's about some stoners that have a community access TV show. And they do it in their basement. It is really funny. But that, when they're going down the road in their beat up old car, rocking to Bohemian Rhapsody, it's just
They were
great.
kind of like Cheech and Chong 30 years later.
Was that like an introductory podcast kind of?
Oh, it might have been, yeah.
Kind of.
Might have been.
I mean,
Yeah.
without the internet, but
Yeah.
Number 22 from 1993, Groundhog Day, which
Excellent.
that was one that didn't
Bill,
really.
Bill Murray.
I didn't think it was funny.
I kind of started losing it for Bill Murray in that one.
I
myself.
wouldn't, no, I thought the movie was great.
Yeah.
And I don't like that girl that was in it. And,
Andy McDowell.
yeah, and she's dropped off of the,
I like her.
she's dropped off the movie business. You never see her
oh, is it
anymore.
Andy McDowell, Multiplicity with
Multiplicity?
Michael Keaton.
Oh, there you go.
yeah,
Michael Keaton, where
Yeah.
he clones himself.
Yes.
There's and she's the
There's
wife.
some awkward moments in that one.
Yes,
aren't there?
yeah. And he's got 6 or
Film
7.
at 11.
Yeah.
Number 23 from 1995, Friday. I've never seen it.
Oh, Friday. That's
Friday.
Ice Cube and
Ice Cube and DJ Pooh.
That's actually pretty funny. That's good.
That is his name.
Friday,
DJ
Friday,
Pooh.
and then Fridays. Wasn't that
Another Friday or
Tucker?
DJ Pooh.
Chris
Oh.
Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
Chris
Yeah,
Tucker?
Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Was he in there?
I think he.
You know, Chris Tucker's
he was in the
greatest,
second one for sure.
Oh, The Fifth Element.
with Chris Tucker's
Yeah.
greatest role is in the Fifth Element.
Right.
Holy
He
smokes,
plays
was
it.
he
What does
good.
he play?
He's a like a world famous DJ sort of a person.
Trans something. I mean, he's funny. Yeah.
Oh, he does a lot of great stuff in that movie, but
Yeah.
that Chris Tucker
He was very
bit
good.
is
Yeah.
really good.
I can vaguely remember seeing number 24. Don't have a lot of vivid memories of it, but from 1995, Clueless.
Oh,
Clueless is-
as if.
Yeah,
Yeah, Alicia Silverstone.
I'm
And it's a
always good with watching her.
And it's a remake of a Jane Austen
Oh, really?
novel. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. Come on.
From the year
English teacher
2000, how
knows.
about number 25 here is
Well, let's talk
Best
about
in Show.
Clueless. Well, Best in Show is great too.
Best in Show.
Is there
Oh.
any movies you all have not seen?
Yeah, I didn't see Friday. Yeah, but Best in Show. I mean, really, that's Christopher Guest, and he has all of those players that he always uses. A Mighty Wind, Best in Show.
Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap. Oh, Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap.
There you go. That might be my favorite.
We talked
The Best in Show though is
Yeah.
absolutely hilarious.
It's really, really good.
We talked about Will Ferrell a little bit last week, and he's
I don't
the
like him.
he's the star of another one that's number 26 in their list of favorite comedies, Anchorman, The Legend of
Eh.
Ron Burgundy,
Eh.
2004. Didn't
Eh.
work for me.
Not
Yeah.
my
I
favorite
find-
Will Ferrell movie.
I find real life in broadcasting far more hilarious than that movie did. From 2004, Shaun of the Dead.
Yes.
Wonderful movie.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Zombie aficionado
Zombies,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Directed
that
by
is
Edgar
really
Wright. Interesting.
There's right at the beginning of this movie, Sean gets up and it's set in London, and he goes to the little corner place to get
No.
little kind of gee-dunk place where you can get supplies and to get his morning coffee,
Right.
and he doesn't realize that
The whole world is,
the world has turned.
Yeah.
He thinks it's people just kind of waking up grumpy, and it's
well, he hasn't
just-
had coffee yet.
yeah,
And so
I
he
mean,
just.
it's just brilliant. These-
It is really this
zombies are-
long tracking shot.
Yeah, the zombies are staggering around. You know.
Yeah.
Oh man, is that funny?
It is good.
Well, romantic comedies about finding new love after a devastating breakup are often great explorations of emotional humor. And that brings us to number 28 in their list from 2008, a movie I've never seen, oddly enough, called Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh, that is really
I
funny.
like that movie.
You know, I've never seen that.
I have.
Finally, a movie you haven't
It's
seen.
in Hawaii too.
Yeah, it's a Hawaii
Oh,
movie.
yeah, and I think they made it on my cousin's ranch.
Oh, wow, really?
Actually, on Coolio Ranch. I'll have to
No, that's
check.
51st Dates.
Well, they made that there too. They made hundreds of movies on my cousin.
So, Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis.
From,
yeah,
let me
very
just
good.
buzz through a couple more here real quick. From 2011, Bridesmaids.
Oh, boy. There's a scene in there where, oh my goodness.
They'll get food poisoning.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
good
Oh,
stuff.
my goodness gracious sakes alive.
From 2016, Never Stop Stopping.
All right, that's it. I'm boycotting this list.
Yeah, I've never heard of that
I
one.
don't like this list at all.
I agree I'm with Greg.
We talked a little bit, they completely skipped all the animated comedy.
Right.
That's a flop, man.
That disqualifies.
Apparently you
it.
didn't need any mental floss this
no.
morning.
No,
Nah, I don't like that list at all. Boo.
Boo. Right. Well, hey, post up on our Facebook
wait.
page what your favorite comedy was, and we'll take
My
a peek at
Little
that.
Chickadee.
Oh,
yes,
W.C.
My Little Desert Flower.
Fields. Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we're about out of time. We got to get out of here so that Pam can come in and start playing more of your favorite music on the radio. But always good to have our hometown movie guys with us. And if you want to find out what's playing, when it's playing, and a lot of other interesting peripheral information, just go to sawmilltheaters.com, or you can call Craig any hour of the day, and he'll happily take your call. Maybe. But he'll
And
take
his
it.
phone will ring with the theme song of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
That's not my phone.
Hey,
That's
thanks,
not my dog.
thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.